Alright, this is Vinegar Day 52. Accessory Day, starting off with shrugs. Today's topic, I decided to do a topic today, is hay fever. This shit, I fucking hate it. I don't know if you guys get it. And for years I've been trying to figure out how to basically stop it. So far, nothing. I've tried local honey. I've tried pine pollen. I've tried so many things. The only thing that really works is antihistamines. I don't know if this is a common thing across the globe, but maybe it's just an Australian thing. Maybe it's seasonal allergy. But it's kind of a curse for me. It's like I have an exceptional immune system when it comes to cold, viruses, and flu and stuff. Not a fucking problem. I mean, in the last 3 years, ever since this COVID came across, like the longest I was sick with COVID was like a day. Like, I'd be sick for a day and I'd be menting by the night it come. So my immune system's sweet when it comes to viruses and stuff like that. I could probably get HIV and fucking get over it, you know what I mean? It's like that kind of level of immunity. But when it comes to flowers, right? When it comes to flowers, I can't cope. These little, and it fucks with my head because I'll go out for walks and there's all these beautiful flowers blooming, but all I can think is like these cunty little flowers. They have it out for me. They fucking suck. So yeah, I'm gonna try a few things over the spring, try and reduce my hay fever. One of which would have been keto. But now that I'm bulking, I don't really want to do keto because bulking on keto is kind of retarded. Keto in general is kind of retarded. It's a good starting point for your cut, but apart from that, keto is generally pretty dumb, especially if you're into weights. So there's no elimination diet really I can do because I still need to eat carbohydrates. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do one carbohydrate at a time, see which carbohydrate lowers inflammation, because at the end of the day, the biggest thing with hay fever is inflammation. Also, one of my clients is like a sort of, I don't know what he is. He works with nature, and he was talking about all these different bushes, and grass and shit in my backyard. Certain bushes I need to cut down to get rid of it. But it just seems like there's no escaping it. So, gonna get an air purifier. I've been doing a big fucking dose of research on this stupid fucking hay fever shit. And air purifiers apparently help a lot. I've tried local honey before, but it never works. I'm going to keep trying, see if I can find a local honey that works for me. Yeah, I'm just going to try a bunch of different things, and if anyone I'll let you know how it goes as spring goes around, because spring's like 3 months, so this is the first day of spring really for me, like the first hot day where everyone's out blooming. I have like 2.5 months of this fucking horrific shit show that is hay fever. I got like a kilo of tissues on my desk right now just from blowing my nose and scraping at my face, and it comes on quick. It's like it's fast. It's like a virus in itself. Like this morning, no problem. By the end of the day, I got congested head, got a bit of a headache from just constantly blowing my nose. So anyway, that's the topic today. The topics aren't always going to be some deep and meaningful thing. I'm just going to talk whatever the fuck I want to say because I can't keep repeating the same shit about my workouts. But anyway, power shrugs there. They felt really explosive today. I got 13 reps with 160 kilos, 165 kilos. So that'll be up to about 170 probably next session. And then I do trap bar shrugs. And these are feeling really good. I still need to tinker with this machine that I've built. I've got an order from my local hardware, or not a local hardware down in Sydney, near from where I live. And I'm going to make this leverage machine I've made extra useful, I suppose. It's pretty good right now, but I'm going to mount it to the wall. That way I don't have to set it up. It's just mounted there, ready to go. And I'm going to make it hold more weights, and I'm going to add a few different things that you will see coming up to make it even more effective. But right now it's pretty good for shrugs. So I do my heavy, and I do 3 different exercises for shrugs, traps, because traps are a very big muscle. They're bigger than most of the muscles in your upper body. Maybe apart from the lats and chest, they're about as big as it gets. Really, they're probably about the same size, if not maybe sometimes bigger, depending. Like for me, my chest is so small, my traps might be bigger than that. So at the end of the day, most of the muscles in your upper body are actually relatively the same size. They just spread out over a different radius. Like the lats spread out so much that it gives the illusion that they're bigger, but really the lats and biceps, for example, are actually relatively the same size. It's just that they're more condensed with the biceps, and the lats are spread out, giving the illusion of large muscle. But most of the muscles in the human body are actually quite comparable, or at least a lot of them are. So yeah, the traps are pretty big, and there's a lot of faceted. They do a lot of different things. They do retraction and not compression, the opposite of compression. Yeah, I do 3 different exercises to get every single angle of hit. Like I do the power shrug to get the stretch overload. Then I do the kind of strict trap bar, the strict V-bar ones to really get a good amount of time and attention, because the power shrug is a very short, explosive movement. And then I do the Dorian Yates retraction shrugs to get my mid and lower traps. So I do a lot of different variations for my traps, much more than the average person probably does, and I hit them at the start of a workout, which is very rare. Normally people hit traps at the end of shoulder day, when they've already kind of exhausted their mental resources and physical resources, and the traps get heavily neglected. And they are one of the most important muscles in the body as far as being, especially in a shirt, but overall in general, the traps are extremely important. And very difficult to build if you're a natural, and they're extra hard to build if you have shit insertion. My traps insert really good from the back. If you look at my back, they look good. But from the front, they look like shit because they don't insert very high up on my neck. And I have high clavicles, which gives the illusion of small traps. So, yeah, you got to train your traps hard, guys. You can't just do them at the end of shoulder day. You have to have an accessory day. Just start accessory day with them, because they are the most important in the order of importance. Then the neck, which is secondly important. But yeah, I do 3 different exercises for that exact reason. And some might see that as overkill. I see it as adequate. And yeah, just doing the neck now. So I did the neck curls. Neck curls were good today. I actually improved a lot of reps here. I think I had like 3 or 4 extra reps a day. So calorie surplus is kicking the strength in, especially in the neck. And then the side neck curls. These I don't really care about the rep range so much. I'm just trying to try to, for one, keep it safe, because you know it is a compromised position to be in, having your neck twisted to the side here. Keep it safe, 1, and then 2, focus on the mind muscle connection, because it is a hard muscle here to really feel, at least for me. So I don't really care too much about the rep range. Just one, I just loosely, progressively overload. Some movements, you know, like pressing movements and pull-ups and stuff like that, squats, you should really be diligent in the progressive overload in them, really track them, make sure you're increasing over time, blah, blah, blah. Make sure everything is absolutely standardized so that you're not cheating progression with less strict form. But, you know, there's certain movements on the opposite end of the spectrum that are very difficult to keep standardized, like this movement here. It's very hard to keep it exact every single time. There are so many factors that go into the range of motion and biomechanics in it. So I'm really just focusing on the contraction of the neck. And a lot of times we just think about moving the weight and not what we're actually doing. So, you know, a lot of times you just think about the progression alone, and that is not necessarily a good idea. Obviously, you need to progressively overload to get bigger and obviously to get stronger, but it's not the be-all end-all. If you're progressively overloading a movement that you're barely feeling the target muscle, then, I mean, yeah, like if you're doing bench presses and you're just feeling it in the triceps and front delts, you'll get some chest gains from it, or maybe none. In my case, none. I've said numerous times on the channel, I used to be a 165 kilo bench presser, and not a fucking chest gain in sight. Marking every single progressive overload, doing the most complex of percentage-based workouts, frequency, auto-regulation, volume, all these different volume powerlifting techniques to get a stronger bench, move the weight, but I wasn't thinking about the contraction or how I was moving the muscles and the movement selection itself. Bench press just doesn't work for me, even if I really focus on my muscle connection. So there is a sweet medium in between focusing on progressions and focusing on contraction. You have to have both. And in my case, I don't even count reps anymore. I count them post-workout. That way I can just totally focus on what I'm doing, the exercise itself. The neck extensions today felt like shit. I don't know what happened there. I got like 6 or 7 reps. It was pushing over my earlobes and was really fucked up. Didn't like it, so did like 7 reps. But that exercise isn't much of importance to me anyway. I don't even take it to failure for safety reasons. And then I did calf raises here. Still not really worried. Today I'm not worrying about reps or anything. I was just getting a good calf stimulation because again, I'm gonna anything relative using this leverage machine is going to slightly change when I mount it to the wall. I'm going to bolt it to the wall, and the resistance curve is probably going to change because it'll be a bit lower or higher than set. And the position I place my feet and everything will probably be a bit different. So yeah, I didn't even worry so much about the weight or reps. I just got a heavy enough weight that I could feel the calves, and then just really worked on the contraction. Again, the same sort of thing with the calves. Like the weight, progressive overload matters, but you can be more loose with it compared to compound movements like bench, etc. But these felt really good. This new machine's really fucking doing it for me. There's just a few adjustments I need to make. I might even buy a new piece of big wood and really make it snazzy. You have a bunch of different multifunctional reasonings for this machine, basically. But as of right now, it does have multifunctional. I do traps, I do roads, I do calf raises, I do a lot of different shit with this machine. But I really need to just make it a bit more ideal. Because right now, behind the scenes, you don't see it, but this took like 10 minutes to set up because that's 120 kilos on there. I had to lift that up, buy the wood, place it on my knees. It's extremely fucking heavy. It was very difficult to do, so I have to make it easier to set up. I need to put a latch system on it, stuff like that. So we saw what happened previously when I had a latch system. And then you see like dismounting is very difficult. And then fucking one of the things broke off. So I'm gonna have to build it up a bit better. And then I fixed it, which took another fucking 20 minutes to fix. So behind the scenes, this machine isn't ideal as far as setup time. Setup time takes into your willpower time. If you're spending 20 minutes setting up a piece of exercise equipment, you're cooling down, you're losing mental focus. So as good as this machine is, I need to optimize it. And then I do a standing variation calf raise machine to hit my inner calves, because seated does my outer, my gastrocnemius, but then this one trains the soleus. I'm doing these 2 different variations to get the 2 different heads of the calves. And that's another thing that I use with this machine is belt squats. And that's really good, but still not quite optimized. I need to make it a bit safer, a bit easier to set up. I needed to make it so I can hold more weight because it's a little bit light with a lot of these exercises. Then I'm on to abs portion, sit-ups. I got this new outfit basically from Temu, which is like another Alibaba alternative, super cheap fucking Chinese shit. But it was an investment. It was $20 for this like compression shirt and shorts because it's getting hotter here in Australia right now. And I was like, if it turns out that this my dog's adding extra resistance, he's standing on my chest, so this sit-ups are hard, a little cunt. Anyway, I invested like $20 to see if these clothes would actually be any okay. I made the sizes twice as big as relative to Australian sizes because Chinese people are much smaller than white people. And I'm also relatively muscular and I'm tall. So rather than getting medium, which is my normal size, and medium large, I went extra large, and that actually turned out to be the perfect size for me. So a little gamble to see if it was worth it. And now that I know it's worth it, I'm going to keep buying shit from there because this is all good quality stuff. Good active wear, which I don't have enough of that stuff, especially the PT. But any of you guys watching, if you're a PT, numero uno is look the part. If you're not jacked, not wearing active wear, your clients are going to think, what the fuck is this dude doing? So make sure you wear active wear, make sure you do a drop set on the sit-ups. I'm gonna sneeze 1 second. My apologies. I paused the videos to have my sneezing fits from the hay fever. I've been sneezing all day. My abs are hurting from the workout, but then they're hurting even more from every time I sneeze. And then yeah, just do some half reps, really burn out the transverse abdominis. And I was kind of thinking about my ab training today. If there's anything I could adjust to it, because again, high intensity always has these little irklings in the back of your mind, going, "You're not doing enough, you're not doing enough." And I started thinking about it, and I think because, as I said previously, you know, I've wrestling with my dog. He likes to wrestle, he likes to fight. What was I saying? Can't remember now. Oh yes, I was thinking about, you know, am I doing enough ab training? In the past, I haven't done enough ab training, and you know, my abs suffered massively because of that. But now I'm doing ab training. I'm like, oh, am I doing enough of it? Because you know, I'm pretty kind of new to ab training, to be honest. I know how to do it, but I'm still new to it. So I was ruminating today whether or not I was doing enough, you know, time and attention and stuff for abs, because I don't do that many rest pulls and drop set training for abs. But from the development I've gotten so far, my abs are developing pretty quickly. My obliques are growing too fast, as a matter of fact. So yeah, not so dogmatically, arrogant in my exercise science knowledge to admit that I don't have like everything there is to know when it comes to abs, because it's new to me. But again, exercise science is quite simple really at the end of the day. You can't really second guess yourself too much, because then you just get neurotic, program hopping and shit. And at the end of the day, what matters most is that you are training to absolute mechanical failure. Every motor neuron gets hit, the stimulus required to grow is hit, and then you recover adequately. And if that's there, that's all that really matters. Everything on from there is just optimization. Are you choosing the right exercise selections for you? Are you choosing enough time and attention on top of your failure work? Because I mean, at the end of the day, volume is just how much time you are under effective load. I think my abs are at that, and if they're not, I'm not too worried. You know, I don't necessarily want huge blocky abs either, but I don't want to neglect my abs because I have some overcompensation now thinking about overcompensating. But anyway, rant over from that for that. Just trying to think if there's anything I missed. It can be difficult sometimes with these voiceovers to just ramble constantly about different nuances to training. And as I said, you start to lose things to talk about, because I do these pretty much the same workouts every single week. So there's only so much nuance I can really talk about, which is partially why I'm going to start talking about subjects. Today I didn't really think about anything, so I just decided to talk about hay fever. If anyone watching this has hay fever or has had it and found any miracle cures, feel free to comment below and let me know if you've done that has gotten rid of your hay fever. That would be amazing. If it works for you. I know some people do grow out of hay fever, and again, it's a lot of hay fever is you're in a work. So if you're in a work that's fucked up, it will present even harder. Like if you have lactose intolerance, you drink a bunch of milk, any of your symptoms of any inflammatory inflammation exacerbates just about every physical problem or condition. So, obviously for me it's going to be a big part, it's going to be diet, stringent about that. But obviously there's medication too, like Clarentine, Telfast, which I'm try taking too. But the problem is with those is I've got a popped blood vessel in my nose from being punched in the face too many times. And now in hay fever season, I rub the fuck out of my nose because it gets itchy. But that blood vessel is very susceptible to just burst and bleed from a very small amount of stimulus. And I'll just start rubbing my nose, and then bam, fucking blood pisses out because antihistamines thin your blood, which used to be a good coping mechanism at school for me. I used to get out of class by just punching myself in the nose very softly. But yeah, anyway, that's it for today. See you guys tomorrow for more piss and vinegar. Bye-bye.